Hello, today we're going to add to what we just did in the listening chapter and talk about 10 keys to effective listening. How we're going to identify what our bad listening behaviors are and our good listening behaviors. So, what I'm going to do is share your screen with the 10 keys to effective listening. I've also put them up onto your learning management system. Okay, so down the middle column is the bad listening habits. To the left are effective tools to incorporate into our everyday or our workplace environment in order to become the good listener, effective listening behaviors. So let's take a look at the first one, tunes out dry subjects. We know we do that. It's uninteresting, therefore you don't listen to it. In high school, you didn't like geometry, so you tuned it out. So, what does it say to do? Find an area of interest. So, you do want to monopolize and say, how is this applicable to me? And that's what the good listener says. What's in it for me? We know you have to take the class and graduate and pass it, but that is a long matter and it really doesn't apply to you. Look for how it generates a meaning in your everyday life. Okay, tunes out of delivery is poor. Sometimes you may not listen to a particular professor because you do not understand an accent, but the whole idea is to understand the content and not focus or have the accent become overwhelming to you. So just as if I were talking to students from our area that tend to also not have an accent, but they have a regionalism. So they substitute certain sounds. My flagging with out. Hold on. We substitute D for TH. I live on 233rd Street. So just like I have a hard time with that, um, know which sounds are substituted because every language has different sounds. So instead of saying, let me think about it, they said, let me think about it. I thought about it, I don't want to think about it. And that's easy to understand. Or some languages have a red roses. And again, we're not here to criticize the delivery. We're here to understand the content. And obviously, we have a book and we can read. The next one, how often do you intend to enter into an argument, or how often do you interrupt? And use some of those cues that we talked about in the chapters so that you understand when it's your turn to speak. Back channel cues. Many of us listen to facts. What's on the test? So we want to make sure we're listening to ideas, understanding general themes. So always when you take notes, it's general to specific, general to specific. And this way it helps the memory. Many of us take notes, maybe just writing down everything the person says or not taking organized notes. Every single one of your classes, you may be taking notes differently, which is flexible. The most effective way is to take notes in your spiral notebook on one page and leave the next page blank and keep taking notes throughout the class like that. And when you go home, that blank page turns into the outline of the page that you took notes because the brain likes outlines, general to specific, general to specific. Again, increasing your listening activeness. Sometimes we fake attention to the speaker and then we go home and we're like, I don't understand. So you do need to work at listening and make sure you're sitting properly, posture is proper, not taking your head up from your pillow and attending a synchronous class. And we do become distracted easily by preoccupied thoughts, and we do need to know how to resist distractions, and that's that mental bracketing will help. And we do need to exercise our mind, watch TED Talks to increase the area of interest you do have, or see other areas that connect to your area of interest. And we do get over emotional by certain words that are spoken, and they actually may cause barriers for that eyelid to go. I know if I hear COVID one more time, So we want to make sure that we don't get hung up in a word the way someone said it. It might mean something differently according to the content of what they're saying. And then we tend to daydream because the brain works faster than the speed of speech. So in this time that it takes you to doodle or daydream, summarize what the professor said and guess what is going to come next. Use active rather than lulling you to sleep. Okay, we'll see you in our next chapter, and keep this handy, print it out, and work on your effective listening skills.